I got a few hunches because we talking about what's called it. I got a few hunches where I think some of these guys, what some of these teams gonna do afterwards. Oh man, man, I just got a YouTube notification from us. So we doing big things over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gave me a YouTube notification.
Me too.
Whew.
Hey, all I'm gonna say, Jay, before you do the introduction, Luca cried, LeBron lied.
I saw that. The Lakers down in five.
Shit, Shannon on the outside, Lakers down, Wolves in five. The other night I had to cry myself to sleep, bro. I felt like Lenny Williams the other night, man. I just wanted to roll myself up in a big old ball and cry. And
He ain't say cry, but yeah,
I'm not gonna say what he said now, because
we'll
that's
go
a
with that.
little too far. But I definitely just, man,
I'm still trying to
ooh,
see why you so disappointed about this season.
I'm still trying to see why you asked me that question if I ain't answered it one time.
You didn't answer it.
Thank you. I
You
ain't, you've been
answer the
saying it so
question.
long. Well, just
This
leave
wasn't
me
even the
alone.
season for.
That
I'm gonna be
look,
honest.
look.
This was
There's
not
a
the season
reason
for the
he's not
Lakers.
answered it.
I don't. I don't
Next
know.
season won't be the season neither.
Next season will be significantly better. It's a
I don't
lot
know.
of
Luka
team.
seemed to
Mm,
It's a
run
lot
out
of.
of steam.
They're not. I don't even think it's that the Lakers run out of steam. I just think they're still not trying to sound cliche, but one of the biggest moves they made before the deadline got overturned. They still got a center. It make
Yeah.
a big difference. Makes a big difference. You know, people clown Rudy Gobert and stuff, but as of right now, that boy Rudy doing his job. He
Man,
doing it
Rudy
quite
doing
well.
his thing.
Rudy doing his
Yeah,
job.
he is.
I've always been a pretty decent Rudy fan, but yeah, you can't do nothing when you're getting out rebounded by 9, 10 boards a game. It make a difference. Perfect
Yeah.
example.
And
The
then,
Lakers lost.
man, in the
Lakers
game the other
Lakers lost the last game by
man,
3. Lost.
how did he get beat the way they got beat?
I'm gonna talk
mm,
about that
Pat
too.
Riley need to be ashamed of himself.
It's a lot. That's why I'm glad. I done sent the link out now, so we get into it. It's a
where
lot
my
to
belt
unpack
at?
about these. Oh, you please hush. You still down 3-1. I'm coming to the Lakers'
Okay, go ahead.
defense a little bit.
It wasn't so bad once I seen the way the Heat was losing. I was like, oh
Mm,
yes.
nah, nah. You be quiet because I
I
got a
mean,
whole lot.
what, 35-8 at the end of the first quarter?
They almost had
That was
100 points at the halftime.
My Heat philosophy will always stand the same. Pat Riley got to start running like it's the mafia. You want to y'all, especially you, Polo. You want to
well,
tell me all day, oh, Pat
he
Riley, you got to respect the OG. I respect the OG, and I'm also respect that the game has changed. You can't keep doing
yeah,
this to these.
yeah, he the Jerry Jones of South Beach.
Oh, we
Thank
not
you.
Jerry Jones bad. He not Jerry Jones bad. Because
Thank
the
you.
thing
I
I would
said
say
that.
about Pat Riley that's different from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones refuses to put a competent coach on the Dallas Cowboys. I will stand behind that. At least Pat Riley has a very competent coaching staff. The entire
Yeah,
staff
but
from top to bottom.
what's the use in having a competent coaching staff if you still trying to coach, or you trying to manage the players and let instead of letting the coaches manage the players?
I mean, I don't think all of our problem isn't personnel based. It is personnel based, yes. But if you look at the people that we've drafted ourselves, they're doing fairly fine for what you want from them. We can't get no outside help in. When your best acquisitions over a season,
What's the reason behind that?
oh, because of the way we ran, the way we bargain, the way we negotiate, it's bad business. I stand behind that. We negotiate bad business. But
Y'all
man,
ain't
Give me
started. You ain't
bucket.
started yet.
Yeah,
nah,
we
it's
live.
we live, but
Uh,
I ain't did the intro yet. I'm gonna do an intro now.
okay, give me a second. Let me get upstairs.
All right.
Be right back.
Hold up. Come into the screen like Bobby Brown did on Thug Love when he got out the helicopter.
Really?
I know you get
Good
bored.
dealing with them.
Something
I
wrong with
know
both of
you.
y'all.
I know you miss my love and my love and my love.
Yeah, something wrong with both of you.
Hello, my fault.
Hey, Lil he Bobby Brown, everybody.
Dealing with
Bobby Brown
you.
is a guy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Bobby Brown is a guy.
Most definitely, most definitely. It was
Maybe
gonna
a
get
bit
it.
of a character, but he is a guy. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of The Lounge. I'm your host, Mr. J, the Lounge MVP himself. Man, and we got a lot to unpack. We weren't here last week, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. First of all, Rico will be making his triumphant return next week. I don't got the clapping emojis. I didn't
Woo,
get my
woo, 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 woo.
but we got Rico will be making his triumphant return next week.
The OKC General.
Yes, sir. He got a lot of stuff to unpack, especially about his Thunder. My dog been down a little bit, man. So yeah, let's give him a lounge welcome when he come back next week. And also, huge shout out to Els and his family. Want to keep them close. His mom is in the hospital, so they are over there handling biz today, man. So got a lot of good news, a lot of somber news, but it's all good. We gonna shake back. What they say, bad news, shucking and jiving, run the hive, lounge in five. So we all gonna be good. But
Most
joining us,
definitely.
a huge welcome back, man. He skipped out on us a few episodes ago, man. We got my pops back in the building. What's going on with you, pop?
What's up, fellas? What's up? Glad to
He
be
ain't
back,
skip
man.
out.
Glad to
He
be
ain't skip out, man. Don't do him like that, Jay. Don't do that, Jay.
back.
And man, like always, down in the cut, we got my man, my pimping player partner himself, Mr. Polo, Mr. Polo Brown. But man, we got a lot
Yo.
of stuff to talk about.
Most definitely.
Um, I'm gonna start off football because it's older. NFL draft fallout. Um, NFL draft was the other day one of the stronger classes for everything, in my opinion, in recent years. One of the stronger classes. Some of the big things that happened. We had a lot of big movers and shakers in the top. Jacksonville starting, and we started the night off early with some moves. Jacksonville traded up to the second pick to go get Travis Hunter. So man, just overall, how was y'all's view on the NFL draft this season?
I thought the only well, let me start here. I thought Travis was a good that's a good place for Travis. I mean, he's back home. He's in a place where he can actually grow and expand his game. Because there are a lot of things there that he likes to do that's gonna help keep him grounded, I think. Um, so I think that's gonna be a good spot for him. I watched his flight from Green Bay um, into Jacksonville, and when he went through the facility and introducing him to everybody, it was just it was a great welcoming. He's from Florida, so I think this is gonna bring the fans back in to watch Jacksonville because they got a hometown brother coming back home to play, and he ain't no slouch. So I thought that was a good spot for him. The only other thing I hate is um, you know the way the league um, treated Shador.
Hmm.
But I believe Shador is going to be that breakout player from this draft class. He's going to be the one, um, in a few years that everybody's talking about. And once he does, I hope he crack him in the head when it comes to salary or pay. Just because of this, you don't punish a child because you don't like his dad. I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. There's no reason in the world why he should have been drafted where he was drafted at. The numbers speak for themselves. And Cleveland, I'm disappointed in them because if you knew you were going to get him, you should have got him. At your first pick. That should have been your first pick. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts.
Polo, what about you?
Trying to get this set up.
Well, I'll kind of get
Yeah,
my thoughts on the Shador. I was say while you getting set up, I get my thoughts on the Shador.
no, I'm ready. I'm ready. I got you. I
Oh,
got you.
go ahead.
In all honesty, I'm not gonna even start off speaking on Fedor. I'm gonna address what you said at first. When it came down to Travis, oh, I feel he's overrated.
Oh wow,
Very overrated. Now, do
overrated
I
from the
think?
standpoint
Hold
of
on, I'm gonna address it. As far as being the highest corner, no. As far as being the best receiver, no. But as far as him being the best player on his team and getting all those snaps and doing what he could do, hey, markability. Him as a player, he's a football player. You got some people be like, oh, he's a cornerback. He's a wide receiver. No, he's a football player. I feel like you could put him anywhere on the field. To be perfectly honest with you, you know what I'm saying? I like him in that standpoint. Don't get me wrong, but if you ask me, do I think he deserved to go that high? Yes, I do. You know what? I was just playing when I said he was overrated. That kid is good. I just don't like the fact that he went to Jacksonville. You know,
Yeah.
Now, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You going to somewhere that's having problems already. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at you as being the savior for the team. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
I
don't.
don't
I don't
know.
think. I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
I
don't.
think, huh?
No. I was gonna say. I don't think he's gonna be the savior. I think he's gonna be that element they need to get to a place where they are contenders. And
Um,
the fact is he wanted to go to Jacksonville. It wasn't that he did not want to go.
Oh, that's good then.
that it could have. I mean, yeah, he may have wanted to go to Jack. It could have also been. I don't want to be that guy. He could have just not wanted to go to Cleveland. I'm gonna just be honest. I wouldn't
Well,
have
well,
wanted to go to Cleveland either.
I'll
But
tell you
from the
this. Yeah, I'll tell you this, Jerish. Um, I think he wanted to go to Jacksonville for a number of reasons. He's a Florida boy. That's the biggest reason. The second reason is he loves to fish. He can do that all day, every day in Jacksonville. He can't do that in Cleveland, especially when it gets cold.
I wouldn't want to be in Cleveland. But the
I wouldn't
thing,
want, yeah, I wouldn't want fish out of
mhm.
Cleveland anyway. Go ahead.
The thing about
um,
that, the way Polo was kind of breaking it down, I've always been one who thinks that the two positions thing, it's a great skill to have, but I've always felt like he was a better wide receiver than he was a corner. That's just because as a wide receiver, you don't want to get touched. They don't touch him. It's hard for him to touch him, and because of his great balls, and it might sound crazy, but because he's such a good receiver, that's what makes him a good corner. If that makes
I
sense.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, it
No,
I
does.
no,
think
that's the same thing I was gonna say.
yeah, I was gonna say, but I do think that it's gonna eventually come to a point where he go personally in my mind. I think he's gonna go receiver only after
I
so
agree.
long because
Because
he's
he's
just.
not
I
going to
mean,
be, the game is
he.
too fast. He can't,
I think
he's
he
not
can
going to
keep.
be
Hold
able to
on.
take them in the snap.
I ain't gonna
Hold
say
on.
that
Hold
part.
on.
I think he
Hear,
can keep. Hold on, let me get
hear
this
me.
before I forget.
All
I
right.
think he can keep up with the game, but I think the fact of the matter is gonna be that he's like, yeah, he's gonna stand out so much more as a wide receiver just because it's hard for him. He doesn't get touched for real. And Trevor Lawrence really needed another big time target
He done
because
froze,
it's
Pop.
You're
he's
freezing.
playing next. Oh, I
You
am.
freezing,
Hello.
Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good now.
He's playing next to oh my gosh, Brian Thomas out of LSU. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be very easy for them to work well off each other because now you got two big time, and that's why I also think on the flip side he's gonna work out so much better in a place like Jacksonville because hey, he's gonna be able to get off on offense. It's gonna take a lot of pressure off of him and Brian Thomas, but Brian Thomas is obviously the number one. There's no question
Hmm.
to it. It's gonna take pressure off of Brian Thomas as well as allow him to, do his thing defensively. So I just feel like it was a great pick all in all. But go ahead, Polo.
As far as everything go, Pop. I see him as being able to do what he was doing in college, but he's not gonna be able to take the game speed. It's gonna take way more out of him than in college. But the question is he's gonna be needed as much as he was needed in college? You get what I'm saying? They needed
Yeah.
him to do that in Colorado. They're not gonna need him to do that. They're not gonna need him to do that in Jacksonville. You get what I'm saying? You got corners there. You get what I'm saying? Now,
Hmm.
him playing both spots, I can see him playing a little slided here and there. These people are bigger, faster, but like when you have the instinct, the ball skills, and all those things. Now, one thing I can say that's probably good for him, he went to a team that's going to allow him to do it
Hmm.
instead of going to a team that only want to put you in a standpoint or play in one position. Like we seen a lot of elite quarterbacks back in your day, Pop. You know what I'm saying? They come out of college.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me give you a person. Antoine Randall. I'm a Steelers fan. He came out of college as a quarterback. What did he play? Wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now they letting you actually go with everything that you want to go with. Now, another thing, Jay, as far as the draft, I want to say this. I feel like it was all just a scam when it come down to Shador. It it had really a lot to do with ratings. I don't feel as if it had anything to do with when he was drafted because they knew he was going to be drafted no matter what team. It's 32 teams there. And when it's unheard of having the top five quarterback go that late. Now that you keep in
Can I
mind,
can I spin back to something real quick before we get too deep into the next conversation, and then I'll
okay,
let the Travis thing go. Um, I've always thought that Travis, rather than being just this dual threat like he was in college, I've always thought that he would primarily play more on one side of the ball and then have packages for the other side of the ball. And that's still how I think. And I think it's gonna be a game to game basis, depending on how it's going and how they're gonna game plan going into the week, so that they can be that more unpredictable. I don't see a world where, don't get me wrong, I think he's going to be solid. He's going to be a great utility player, but I don't see a world where he's getting, at least so early on, I don't see a world where he's going 100 catches, 1,500
Right.
yards.
Right.
But
You
I
don't
can
you don't want to hurt your first
exactly,
round.
but I can easily see him going 55 to 65 catches, still get 1,000 yards, 4 5 touchdowns, and then come over 3 4 interceptions on the other side, passes deflected, whatever else. And then now we kind of move on to what you were saying about Shador. I kind of have a theory on that Shador thing.
my whole
Um,
thing. Oh,
I feel like more than anything, they didn't want they. I hate to be like that. The NFL don't like people who don't need them. That's the problem.
Mm.
He didn't need, like, if I went to the league, they would probably love me because my parents are doing well for themselves, but this is generational type of money here. They don't need that. Deion Sanders probably got more money than probably I would beg to it's probably about maybe 10% of the NFL that don't got as much money as that man do. If I had to
Hmm.
give, just because of how high these contracts done got, it's probably about 10% who don't. But other than that, these people are already richer than 90% of what they need. And being honest, he is good. He's a very good talent. The only realistic criticism that I didn't even have for him, but that I was seeing from him was, hey, he holds on to the ball too much. He's very accurate when he throws it, but sometimes it like he hold on to the ball too long. That is the only realistic criticism I ever saw.
Well, but
Because
and let's be realistic about that criticism. I mean, he didn't have time to get the ball out, so rather than throw an interception or fumble the ball, he had to hold on to the ball because Colorado did not have a line to protect it.
Never did.
yeah, they got
Never
his
did.
best line. What up, Rico? His best line was in his senior season, and one side of that line was still getting beat. That I think it was that
Right.
right side of the line was
The
still
right side
extremely
of the
weak.
line. Yeah. Yeah.
Now hear me out on the
Go ahead, go
Shador
ahead.
thing. I don't, I like conspiracies and stuff. So let me start off with that. I feel as if it really had nothing to do with it, but to address that, the NFL don't need you. I'm gonna address you first, Jay, with that. I hate that's what they putting on him. Speaking of, because of what his father is like, and a lot of people sit up and say that. Well, he ain't have to get it out the mud. He ain't have to try hard, but people don't realize he still had to go out there and put in the work that everybody else did. So we can't. I'm not saying you're doing it, Jay. I'm just speaking of other people the way they look at it. We can't fault Dion for being a father. That's what a father's
Right.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
Especially if your son want to play football. You know what? I don't care what nobody say. Like LeBron, you can't hate for what a father's supposed to do. He's supposed to help his child dreams come true.
But
I'm gonna
my
kill it at that. Hold on.
my
Let me
thing
finish
is,
real
we've
quick.
always seen the NFL want to put the and this. I'm not hating on nobody, but the NFL has always wanted to put these guys on a pedestal that are like you see it in their graphics. They'll tell you such and such daddy done been in prison this long, such and such mama done battled cancer for this long. They're always to
Why?
me that they're always wanting to put in a sad story versus why can't we
Hmm.
just have a guy who was good, who had great family support, who doesn't
Hmm.
and I hate to be that guy, but he still don't need the NFL money. Yes, it's good. We good there. We
Thank
playing.
you.
We good there. But you can't get mad at him because they don't
So,
need this. That was my biggest point. Y'all mad
so
at
Because I
these
mean,
folks. They don't need it.
yeah, even when you think about the responsibilities of his father, when his son started getting NIL money, he made sure his sons knew how to manage their money.
mhm.
So I'm sure that whatever Shador and Shiloh has financially, they would be all right. They will be
On
all
their
right
own.
with probably the rest of their lives if they didn't play football.
And then just hear me out with this one. When it came down to him, now as the NFL, you know what I'm saying, as a GM, okay, cool. We don't have to get him because he don't need the money. Ain't no point in us getting him early. But now, do I think a lot of teams should have just passed him up? That's somebody you can't pass up. That talent,
I'm
no matter what.
disappointed. I'm disappointed in your Steelers because they need a quarterback, and
Oh,
he wanted to
I
go to
don't.
Pittsburgh.
I'm not as disappointed in the Steelers pop as a lot of people are, and this is why I'll say this. And I'm not that. I know you've been around a lot longer than me, but in my recent knowledge of Steelers history, they've never just came right out and started a young guy. Just in my recent memory, y'all have
But
never been the one to start a young guy,
Big Ben,
and they, huh?
Big
I was
Ben.
about to say Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah,
But that was before Tomlin.
no, that wasn't.
Ben was there before
No,
Tomlin
no,
was
no,
there.
no, 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 no. I don't think so, son.
I'm pretty pop
I'm gonna have
and
to pull. I'll have to pull that up, but I
He
don't
let me
was
think
check.
pop.
so.
He
He
was
was
there 1 year before
Ben
them.
was there before Tomlin.
Oh, he
So
was he was there when what's the guy? What's the white guy that the coach before Tomlin?
yeah, I don't know his name, but he was there before
He's an
Tomlin.
announcer now. Okay, okay.
And also
But
they
Bill
did
Cowher.
still draft a quarterback.
Now I'm not mad about that quarterback. I like that quarterback because he remind me a lot of Allen. But still, on the Shador thing, hear me out. I feel like that had something to do with ratings. When was the last time you seen people pay attention to the draft past the first round,
When
second
your
round
people
too?
in there,
That's it. But do you not see how much it was talked about? It's all on social media. It was on radio stations. It was on your phone. Shador still not drafted. This round right here. Shador still not drafted. Hey, he don't need the money. He don't need the money. But when was the last time you seen the ratings be that high? There haven't been no draft ratings that high and probably forever.
Yeah. But and all things considered for the Steelers, and this kind of is a good segue in our next draft.
Well, I want to
They
talk about
had
Steelers.
one of the better drafts out of most teams, though.
Mm-mm.
I feel like they filled all their holes that they had on their team. The only thing that's still questioning me is that quarterback position. But apparently they've been in constant talks with Aaron Rodgers, so we'll see how that goes. But you filled your running back. You got Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, which is a pretty solid pick, especially for where you got him, considering you to have a second round pick. You got a stud, Derrick Hammond out of Oregon, with your first round pick. That was a great pick, especially for
Ooh,
that low.
daily.
You also got Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, who I'm not completely
Ooh.
sold on Jack Sawyer,
I don't
but
know why not.
I was just gonna say going a lot of other places. I don't know, but going where he's an edge playing next to an all pro Hall of Fame level type of edge, I can see the vision from that side of things. So it was definitely a solid. And then if you
and
end
black
up getting
and
yeah,
black
yeah,
and black.
yeah, black, yeah. And if you end up getting Aaron Rodgers, now you didn't really have to rebuild. You just retooled. So I think that, and they picked up receivers in free agency, like you got DK and everything. So I think overall they had a very solid draft. Panthers did good too. Yeah, Panthers did quite well as
I
well.
definitely like the Panthers. I definitely like the Panthers also. But to be
But
perfectly
y'all
honest
know,
with you, when it come down to everything that they doing, even though people not so big upon that quarterback that we got, they should just sit down and keep their mouth closed because the quarterback we got is a winner. He is a winner. Every team
What
he done went
quarterback?
to, he
they drafted
What?
Will Howard.
Oh, uh, uh,
I mean,
I
oh,
feel
he was
I
solid.
feel the way I feel the way I feel, and maybe I feel that way because they went after Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers is washed up to me.
I don't think Rodgers quite washed up yet.
So
He kind of,
so
Rodgers
even
still did better than over 60% of the NFL
yeah.
as a
Rodgers
quarterback
still
last
started a
year.
lot of places.
yeah, but I don't think he's going this season. Now bringing Rodgers in to mentor young quarterback, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I think that's a good move. However, Rodgers is looking to start. He's looking to play, and honestly, I don't think he has the goods anymore.
Uh, it ain't
I
no
think I
quarterback that
think
we
he
got
does.
that can start
I'm gonna
over
be
him.
honest. I think he does because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is washed because I think we didn't see an Aaron Rodgers-esque season from him, and that's why a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me go to it. I had this, we were just talking about this the other day when me and some of my friends off stream. Um, the thing about Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers had a Aaron Rodgers had a season that wasn't an Aaron Rodgers-esque season. That's why it looked so bad. But once you really
Yeah,
get
but
into it, once
I
you really
mean,
get
it's
into
about. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say once you really look at the stats he had from that previous season, though, 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions is career years for some guys. It's just not an Aaron Rodgers 40 touchdown, 4 interception season. I don't blame that. I blame a lot of the Jets turmoil on him, but I can't blame all of it.
Why can't you blame why can't you blame it all on him? You know, and
Um,
I'll let you know why I asked that question.
because to me that GM for the Jets was unserious this season. You were so unserious. There's no way Robert Saleh, the defense was the one thing of the Jets that actually looked somewhat decent for a beginning of the season. The offense wasn't clicking, and you knew you were gonna make certain trades to try and get the offense clicking, but you fired a defensive coach because of Aaron Rodgers. That's why I say that it starts at the top. The GM was totally unserious. There's no reason Robert Saleh shouldn't have at least got to finish the season. Now, he might have got fired in the offseason, yes. There's no reason you fired that man 5 games into the season when your defense wasn't playing completely horrible. You know what I'm saying? Your defense wasn't playing horrible. Y'all just couldn't score.
The defense was good, actually.
Yeah, that's what
Very
Rico was
good.
saying. Nah, it's not all Aaron Rodgers. They had plenty of issues. It's still the Jets, y'all.
I don't disagree with
They
that.
had a
I
lot of
mean,
injury problems.
but I still think Aaron Rodgers is the problem. And I say that because if you had a black quarterback that was performing the way he is, look at how much hell Dak Prescott get, and Dak didn't have a good coach at all.
Yeah, but a
So
lot of our issues with Dak are always playoff issues, though.
yeah, but my point here is when we talk about the quarterbacks, the standards of quarterbacks, it's a black and white thing all day long when it comes to the NFL. They look for the quarterback to be the leader of the team. They look for the quarterback to do all these marvelous things. They look to the quarterback to lead them to the playoffs, to lead them to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. They gave my quarterback hell for the past 2 years.
Who the
Nobody,
quarterback?
everybody that Jalen Hurts, everybody that gave him hell and wanted to talk bad about him, you ain't heard nothing from him now. And
I
let's
still
be
talk
real.
bad about him on the regular.
Let's be real. Jalen has always had a winning season, even when
He
he
always produced.
yeah, even when they didn't do well in the Super Bowl, he always had a winning season. And this did not just happen in the NFL. This is transcended with him from college.
All right, we get off track. I'm still a Hurts hater, by the way. We'll talk.
That's
I'm pretty
fine.
sure we're
Ain't
gonna
nothing
talk
wrong with
about
that.
this later on down the
Ain't
road.
nothing wrong with that.
But in y'all's opinion, though, who was the biggest steal of the draft not named Shador Sanders?
Biggest steal of the
Yeah,
draft.
in y'all opinion, who was the biggest steal of the
The
draft?
biggest steal was the
That cornerback.
linebacker we pulled from Alabama. That was the biggest steal.
I don't know if that
That
was a steal. He was still first round talent. I don't know if that was a steal. He
what
might have just
what
failed
about
y'all.
and also the linebacker out of Penn State. Who drafted him? He was third pick in the first round, I think it was.
Oh, Abdul Carter.
Yeah, Carter.
I can't call it that a
I thought
steal though.
no, Abdul went
Abdul
your
went third.
third pick in the first round.
Yeah, but
That's
that's who
like
Yeah,
we
a
was talking
third
steal.
pick
about.
first
I
round.
can't
Yeah.
call Abdul a steal because somebody was going to draft him. At some point, he was best of it. He was probably the best overall prospect. It's just the teams in front of the Giants needed something more than they needed Abdul Carter. Like there was no way that the Titans weren't not drafting a quarterback.
I think the Giants need to regroup their front office.
Yeah, but my biggest steal of the draft is strictly because of where he went versus who he was. Mike Green out of Marshall was my biggest steal of the draft. First round level talent, went later in the second and ended up in Baltimore. As well as
That's a good place for him.
it is a great place for him. That's why I said I feel like that's a huge steal because he was first round level talent. He was better than some of the edges that got drafted above him, James Pierce Jr. I hate to be
Yeah.
that guy. The Falcons pissed me off trading back into the first for that
Well,
foolishness.
you crazy. No, it wasn't. But
He
go
is
ahead.
better than James Pierce. I don't care. Polo, you the one always tell me no matter where they play it, if you can ball, you can ball. Y'all let that Marshall thing fool y'all from the fact that he had I think he had 18 sacks last year. Y'all
Oh,
let that
he's a
Marshall thing,
beast.
y'all let that Marshall thing fool y'all. Y'all forget what Khalil Mack went to school at. Buffalo. Where Aaron Donald went to school at. Pitt. Y'all letting this thing fool y'all. And
Hey,
also,
when you play against better talent, you know what I'm saying? You got to factor that too. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish it.
my last biggest steal, this is strictly because I got two running backs. It's strictly because I'm an Auburn fan and I watched Jaquez Hunter rack up yards after yards. I think he'll fit seamlessly in the Chargers offense. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry, not Chargers, the Rams offense, as well as going back to the Cleveland Browns draft. I feel like getting Dylan Sampson in round 4 was also a very solid pickup for them. Dylan Sampson was a workhorse at Tennessee. I mean, and now I just want to see what they're gonna do with it. But those are a few steals for me. But go ahead, Polo.
One of my steals was Will Johnson. I feel like he had the talent to go first round. The cornerback out of Michigan.
Yeah.
That was a steal. Landon Jackson for him to go to Buffalo.
It's the injuries for Will though. That's the only thing, and I don't even think he
Yeah.
was that hurt. I think they gassed that. Hey, look, who drafted him? I believe they put that report out there so they could just draft him. I don't think he that dang hurt, Polo. I don't know, bro, because Will Johnson is a
Hold on, I'm
stud.
about to
I
tell you
don't
who
know.
drafted.
Like
That's what I'm
Pop,
saying. I feel like he had.
I think they was throwing some.
He went to Carolina. I mean, he went to
Yeah, I
the
believe
Cardinals.
Carolina
He went to
was.
the Cardinals. No, he
The
went to the Cardinals.
Cardinals was throwing some smoke screens out there. They wanted that boy. Ain't no way he will. I just watched him play. He was not that dang hurt like y'all trying to make it seem.
Yeah, Will Johnson. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I believe he participated in the combine, by the way. But go ahead.
Will Johnson, Landon Jackson for him to come. Playing Arkansas, he played with Buffalo. Now you going to a team that needed him, and I feel like he might actually be able to come in and actually do something.
Yeah, he probably will.
Like as far as put pressure on the quarterback. Also, what the Cowboys did in third round with Siobhan Rebel Jr. from East Carolina. You know, somebody coming from a small school, but actually he's a man child. Like seriously, man child. And Trey Amos, I gotta, Mississippi, I gotta, shout them boys out, man. They really did their thing, man. They really did their thing. They're my biggest steals, actually.
Yeah.
And, the other steal. What Seahawks did in third round, getting that boy Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
I can't call Milroe a steal.
Yeah, he's a steal to me. He's a steal to me.
I hope that's not the biggest overreach in the draft. No, it ain't. It ain't gonna be the reach.
It can't be. It can't be.
I just thought about it. It's not the biggest reach.
But to agree with what you said earlier, bro, I feel like this was one of the best all around
classes. Yeah, this is a very good class.
Definitely.
This is a better all around class than last season, if you ask me.
Carolina got some real good key pieces, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pop.
No, I was gonna say it's to me, I think it's the best all around class that's come through in a while. I mean, every year there's some great players, but this year, I mean, just about everybody that was sitting and especially even, I mean, in the first round, you knew who they were. You seen them play. You knew what their stats were before their name was even called.
Yeah.
So that made it very interesting to me with this draft class.
Who would you say was your biggest reach of the draft? My biggest reach ain't even gonna be who y'all think. I can get over the Jackson Dart thing. My biggest reach was Tyler Shaw out of Louisville. That was my biggest reach for the New Orleans Saints because to me, that dang near just ruined your draft. I don't know what sold you about 7 years of Tyler. I've been out of high school 7 years. Tyler Shaw graduated high school when I graduated high school. His first year of college was 2019. Yeah, his first year of college was in 2019.
Definitely.
That's a crazy. And the thing about it is, his 7-year career stats. Shador's last 2 seasons at Colorado were better than his whole career stats, and that's not even that. And even you could even take other quarterbacks. Milroe's last 2 years were just as good, if not better, than Show's entire career. So him going that high is the only reason that Jackson Dart isn't a reach in my mind, is because Tyler Shaw went in the top 40 picks. He went within the first 10 picks of round 2.
My biggest reach was and I'm gonna say his name messed up. Terrio McMillan.
No, Ted McMillan was not a reach. I'm sorry, that was the best wide receiver in this class. Nope, I can't let you do it. Tut might not be a real 6'5". Either he not 6'5" or Bryce Young not 6 foot even. But no, Ted McMillan was not. I can't give you that. Pick again. Because Tut was a monster last year. Pick again.
Yeah, he might have had a break. He might have had a breakout year at the
He
end,
ain't had
but
a
I
breakout.
really,
That bitch smooth. Go ahead though.
nah, man, I
Pick
ain't gonna give
again.
it to him, man. I
Pick
don't.
again.
He's so
Pick again. Hey, you hear me talking to my pick again? Nope, not letting you do Tut like that. Tut was nice last year.
All right, Coastal Love
Okay, I give you that. I can't give you
for
Tut though.
him to be a tight end and go that high, Michigan top 10, and you play tight end. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was the best tight end. I still think Jalen Warren was the best tight end available. I think that what you call it just fell in love with him. I think that the Bears just fell in love with him the way he kind of fit into their team
Mm-hmm.
versus like, because he's a better receiving tight end. If Warren is an all around tight end, he's a more of a receiver. He's more Kyle Pitts than he is Dallas Clark, if that makes sense. Or
I agree with you.
He's more Travis Kelce than he is Dallas Clark.
I get what you said. I
But
agree.
I can give you that because I don't think he should not have been the first tight end off the board.
You don't
He
think
definitely
so?
shouldn't.
Pop.
No,
Tyler Warren has been tight end one this entire season,
Yeah,
and
I
and
can
it
see
and,
that.
and there's nothing telling me otherwise.
I
Yeah,
like
the
what the
Tyler
Eagles
is
also
all.
did too.
And what that?
So my pick would be Dylan Gabriel. Was Gabriel
Out of
Mm-hmm.
going
Oregon?
to going to Cleveland
Why you say that?
He's not Shador.
because well, no, it's not that he's not Shador. Why would you get him and Shador? What's the purpose behind that? I didn't understand that.
I
And
don't
I don't think Dylan is a better quarterback than Shador. Dylan has his numbers. Dylan did a great job, but if you're going after a quarterback, then why didn't you? Why would you? I would have felt better if you picked Shador and then went back and got Dylan because Dylan would have been there.
Yeah,
Dylan would have been there.
my biggest complaints about Dylan Gabriel are he is probably about 6 foot or below, and he is a left-handed quarterback. Those are my two biggest things about Dylan Gabriel, and that is going to be what costs him a lot because he can't just seamlessly plug into an offense.
Yeah.
Your whole offense has to be based around him being left-handed. And people ask me what I mean by that. So naturally, you're right. We're all right-handed people. You're gonna look at the field and things like that from left to right, just because you're natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's just your natural thing because you're right-handed. His whole offense has to flip because if he looks left to right, he's throwing against himself.
Hmm.
If he's looking left to right, so that your offense has to flip. Depending on what he did before, handoffs may be a little tricky because you're naturally gonna go to your dominant side. Handoffs could be a bit tricky. You pretty much have to design. That's why I feel like what was his name? Dude from the coach for the Dolphins. I had to give him a lot of credit because he was able to get Tua. He was able to get Tua good and acclimated to being a left-handed. I think the one exception to the left-hand quarterback mode was Michael Vick because he had a strong enough arm to kind of do whatever he wanted to do.
And defeat the match
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
something like
and
that.
that Eagles Mike Vick was also coached by Andy Reid, who Andy Reid
Yeah.
can coach. Andy Reid can get me 3,000 passing yards. Andy Reid can get me 3,000 passing yards in his offense.
I also think Miami should have looked at a quarterback in the draft. I mean, even if you draft one late in the round, and I know the reason they didn't because they are paying Tua all this money, but Tua with the concussions that he's had since he's been there, I'd be thinking more on the safe side. You get a quarterback real cheap pulling him out of the draft, a good quarterback with this class. And then if he gets hurt, you got somebody that can step in and step up
Uh,
for the time being. And then, you see where it goes from there.
Pop, they did draft a quarterback. They drafted Quinn Ewers. That was
Oh, did they? Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was that, and that was my name. And I'm glad you mentioned that because it segues into should Quinn have went back to college? and hit the portal.
I I think so. I saw that. I saw you put that out there. think I think he should have went one more year.
What
Because
college he
you
was gonna
think
go
of
to?
Quinn was at Texas. I think he was gonna
yeah.
No,
transfer
no,
though.
no, no,
He
no,
was gonna
Jay.
hit
I'm
the
asking
portal.
Pop. I'm asking Jay.
Oh,
Jay, I'm asking Pop. What college will he go to?
or would he go
W-
to?
Would he
Hmm.
go back to where he was?
You
He
can
could
go
have.
back to no, no.
Apparently he had an $8 million NIL offer from somewhere.
Well, it's not even about the NIL to me. I think had he stayed and not even entered the draft, and then he go into the next college season, his stock raises. So
He
now
can't stay
next,
at Texas though, Pop. There's no way possible he would have been able to stay and play for Texas. I'm sorry.
My thing about Quinn Ewers is, and I think I know why he left, and it makes sense. Quinn Ewers had some rough ends to his seasons because he was having those injury problems towards the end of his time at Texas. And I think he might have saw the bigger picture of, hey, let's get to the league. If we can make it there, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but you're
I,
getting $8 million in NIL money. Take $1 million and get your body right for the next season, and focus
Well,
on getting your numbers up and getting yourself in a position that you are a first round draft pick for the 2026 NFL draft.
it
Quinn's
ain't gonna be
always been
that
a
easy.
strong on QB. His age would have kept him out.
I'm gonna
His
tell you the
age would
reason
have
why.
kept him back.
I'm gonna tell you the reason I say that, Pop. Quitting last 2 years, then had injury problems, like Jay said, and at the same time, you gotta think about it. Once you got a dog behind you,
All right. Nope. 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 Nope.
when
Moving
you
on.
when,
Nope.
when you
Nope.
got a
No,
dog
he's
So
not.
behind
so
you,
so
He's
my
not.
next so
He's
my
not a
next
dog.
so my
He's not a
so my
dog.
next question so my
look
next
bad.
question is so my next question is why did it make sense for Miami to draft him then?
It made sense for Miami to draft him because you got him with a lot of low risk, and he's gonna be a project, of course, because
Oh
But but
God,
he's
Lord.
he had
pro-
a.
he's prone to being hurt.
I mean, but that's the same. Penix got drafted, and Penix was an injury type of
Oh, Penix
risk.
was different.
Penix
Penix
was,
was
but
very different.
The thing is, Quinn Ewers has bad ribs. Michael Penix had a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder. So if torn labrums can get drafted, I think we can get them. But moving on, because I didn't realize how much time we are on. Quick hitters, best overall draft, worst overall draft.
Best overall draft, definitely Cam Ward.
I'm talking about
Um,
team
the
pop.
first team, okay. Um,
I had a tie for best overall draft between the Ravens
Jackson,
and the
Jack,
Eagles.
Jacksonville and the Eagles, and I say the Eagles because of the way we strategically went about pulling players to bring them in. So, and these players will come in and learn the system, and the next year, I don't care what you said, Polo. The next year, we will be contenders again.
Jai Campbell's probably gonna start day one out of anybody that
Oh
y'all
yeah,
draft. He's
oh
gonna
yeah,
start day
yeah.
one because
I
he's a good coverage linebacker, and y'all are.
yeah. He's a beast. He is definitely a beast, and we need that. We need that. We need that.
I think between the Eagles and Ravens because those two teams rich just got richer. The Ravens just drafted literally everything that they needed. Polo, who you think?
Carolina and the Steelers.
Okay. Then
No,
worst
definitely not.
draft.
The
We got about a
worst
minute.
draft for me is the Steelers.
Oh no, no, I
Yeah,
can't say that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Saints drafted on that night. The Saints drafted on that night.
The
I
worst
think
draft was the Saints.
The
The
worst
Saints and
draft
the
was the
Browns.
Saints. The
The
Saints
Saints
draft.
and the Browns.
Now
I'm
you know
sorry.
what's crazy? The Browns had a fairly solid draft because they got two running backs just in case Chubb don't come around. They did draft a lineman, and for all intents and purposes, they drafted Shador Sanders, who is
and
probably a potential future
and
quarterback.
and,
But
and what
Man,
I want to say about Shador is not only does his stats speak for them, but he's gone to two programs and two losing programs and turned
and
the
one.
programs around.
Yep.
So
the only thing I
this
would
is
have liked them to get is a wideout.
yeah, this would be like going back to Jackson State, coming to Colorado. but he's in Cleveland playing in the
Yeah,
NFL, so
Yeah.
yeah.
he knows
I,
what it takes to turn the team around.
hear
Yeah.
me out. The reason
Cool.
why I said
Hold on.
Cleveland.
We just hit the minute.
Cleveland got other players that they should have got. They got other positions that they should have filled. You got 7 quarterbacks in your quarter. They won't even let you
5.
have that many quarterbacks on Madden.
They
Go
they
ahead.
got 5, but they filled the other needs quite well. They needed tight end, a linebacker, and a D tackle. They filled that quite well. I can't get them worse
Wide
draft.
receivers too.
Saints drafted. All right, playoffs. Oh man, we're not quite in the round 2 yet. But what I want to do is, I know we may have some teams get eliminated. Oh no, we're not gonna. We might not have nobody eliminated tonight because the Warriors down 15. We
The
had some
Warriors laying down tonight.
We had a few eliminations, so let's just start off with the most interesting elimination. Where do the Bucks go from here?
Hmm. I'm gonna hate it if Giannis leaves. I am really going to be hurt. He is the soul of that team to me. He is the backbone of that team to me.
He gone. He gone.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gone.
I'm
They did.
afraid he is.
To me, they did all that.
I don't think Giannis will leave.
I think Giannis is gone. I think Giannis is gone because he's really the only guy left on that team with immense value. Dame's torn Achilles at 35.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have Chris Middleton anymore because Chris had low value. Kyle Kuzma ain't all that.
Ain't panning out.
And then if you look at it, Giannis has played with same level of consistency he came in the league with.
Yeah.
He's
I
only
think
gotten better.
y'all front office a little stupid. So I hope y'all don't mess this up. Or the Bucks at least. I think the best and most practical landing spot and the team that can actually get them a decent haul for him will be the Thunder.
Oh, he
But
go to the Thunder. Dude, he go to the Thunder. It's over. It's a wrap.
the Thunder or the Rockets are the two teams who have the capability, and probably someone like the Spurs have the capability and the
Miami neither.
draft picks and everything. We don't have nothing to
No, I
give
don't.
for them though.
I don't. I wouldn't want him to go to Miami.
Yeah, we don't have nothing to give for them. The thing,
Right.
I'm being realistic. The Thunder have the best. Like, if you're looking at a team that has the most to give him, the Thunder still got like 15 first round picks over the next 4 or 5 drafts, and they're good picks.
What
So I can
if you
see
go
a
to the
work.
Pistons
No,
and they got the money for him?
they don't got the money. The scariest team, y'all need to be worried about him going to the Thunder because it is
Yeah.
definitely a world where the Thunder could give up Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort, and I just had the third name in my head. Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort, and let me go look at their roster real quick. I had it in my head and I just lost it. But it is a world where they give up Hartenstein, Lou Dort, some draft picks, and end up with Giannis. It is a definite world where that can happen.
I think they can, but hey, at what cost? You know, that'd be
Nothing.
the same.
If you get rid of Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein and get back Giannis. Giannis is literally those two guys combined. Lou Dort is your POA. Lou Dort is your POA defender. Giannis is a POA defender, and Isaiah Hartenstein is your best rebounder. You're getting back. Giannis is literally a combination of those two players, except he's going to give you 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Are you think so? You basically thinking, is it time for his contract? Or you talking about based off a trade?
Oh, you got to trade them. You're like, bro,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not. You're not getting Giannis like not off a trade. Like they're giving up 4 or 5 first round picks for this.
Oh, they have to.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
have
you're
to.
because
And they're
that's what I
probably
mean.
giving
The
up something
Thunder,
else. They're giving up.
it's probably gonna be like Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe, and Lou Dort, and a bunch of draft picks.
Yep.
Mm.
But man, I'm gonna really hate that, and I feel like, my gut's telling me that that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Moving on to the quicker hit of the eliminated teams. What the Orlando Magic have to do is nothing. Just get healthy and come back next season. That's all. They righteously they salvaged their season because Paolo was looking like an all NBA level player before he got hurt and missed like 20-some games. And then when he got back, Mo Wagner got hurt, and then Jalen Suggs got hurt at the end of the season. If you're the Magic, just stick your pieces together and just get healthy for next season, in my eyes. You don't have to go make a splash move because you have a splash roster.
I feel like they're missing that one piece, but I don't know what it is.
Because they're not really because I don't think they're really missing it. Now they just got to this is like that Houston or Detroit thing. They're not missing anything now. Now they just got to keep gelling together. This the same. Cleveland was a 1 seed with the same roster that they had this year, and that Magic team took them to 7 games last year. They were Mo Wagner shot like 4 for 30 that game. They're one bad shooting night from Mo Wagner from eliminating Cleveland last season.
Hey, you know what I just thought about? He can go to the Pacers.
No.
And the Pacers got something to give.
He ain't going to the Pacers. Then he got to deal with old boy. Yeah, he got to deal with old boy dad for real then. And Giannis might kill him if he goes
Pacers
to the
don't got nothing to give for him. Nothing that
yes, they do.
No, they don't. They don't got nothing that the Bucks will want.
No.
All right.
What do they got on? What do they got that the Bucks want?
The center?
No, they don't. They don't want Miles Turner. Why are we giving up?
Miles Turner?
Why are we not going younger? Why are we go? You know, Miles Turner been in the league like 10 years, right? Why
you
they
give
not
up Miles
going
Turner? Hold on, just hear me out. You give up Miles Turner and you give up the one you said was a point guard. You can give him up.
Tyrese?
What about Atlanta? If Atlanta
they ain't got nothing.
I was gonna say, I don't see a world where Atlanta got the means to get him. Plus, I'm gonna be honest, they're not. I don't think he's gonna get traded in the Eastern Conference. I just don't see it. I don't see the Bucks giving him up to an in-conference rival.
Yeah,
I don't see him giving up to anybody in the East because he's a problem no matter what.
And then you want him to go to the Pacers. If say you do get him. What Pascal gonna do when Giannis got the ball? Cha-cha slide in the corner?
That's it. That's what
It's like I hate it when people used to say, "Oh, Ja and Steph will look great next to each other." No, they wouldn't, because Steph is better with the ball than Ja, and Ja can't shoot. So what Ja gonna do? Cha-cha slide while Steph dribble the ball?
Man, slash.
Then you can't do that. Slashing. You can't do enough slashing. Okay. But yeah, I think the Magic are the one team that just need to stay the course. Anybody else eliminated? It looked like the Rockets not going home yet.
You forgot about the Heat.
Yeah. I didn't forget. I was gonna go over them last because we gotta talk about that.
Well, they were the first people out. We should have talked about them first.
The Grizzlies were technically the first team out, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going in order of who was kind of like the who. I'm not so worried about the Bucks because I know that for Giannis, they're going to get a crazy haul. Not worried about Orlando because Orlando was just hurt. And now we get into the Memphis and Miami, the teams that we're actually like that need to hike some alarm bells got to be ringing. Memphis, oh my gosh. Memphis, I got to get a coach. They got to get a coach over there before they do anything else. 2, I think, and it's not even because of nothing fault of his, but the Ja Morant experiment is over, and it's nothing that I think it's just ran its course. I think Ja is still a great player. It's just y'all know sometimes stuff just run its course. I think the Ja experiment just ran its course because after all that stress he kind of put on the team and everything, and that's why I say they love you till they hate you, because when him and Dylan Brooks was dancing, it was all fun. Now they hate him, and I just think a whole new environment will be good for him.
I feel like they should.
Go ahead. No, you got
it. I feel like they should have kept that same roster they kept the year before.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't think Dylan Brooks didn't have. Dylan Brooks was a big part of the team, and after that stuff with LeBron, Dylan didn't have a place on that roster.
I feel like they should have kept that same team. The only reason I'm saying that because they probably would have got further. That's all I'm saying with that.
The only thing that's different from that team is Dylan Brooks, though.
All right.
I'm saying that course.
After we get done, you can look it up.
I'm
And
looking
in
at.
the job, yeah, in the
Go ahead, man.
job situation where they love him and they hate him, job brought that on himself.
He
He's
might
a great
have,
player.
yeah, but
He's a
you know.
great player. And that's just a perfect example of a person with the talent to be outstandingly great does not have the mentor he needs to help him stay focused. That's what I saw. I mean, the stuff he did or was doing is just stuff that someone that don't have a person to keep them accountable would do. Ja had an opportunity to be the face of the NBA. That was the
Hmm.
purpose. But when he started to do that, and somebody should have told him, dude, you grow up. It's about you making the money now to be able to sustain yourself after the NBA, and he didn't
Hmm.
have that. So that's the only thing. I hate the way that they treated him because they tried to make him out to be the bad guy in every situation, but he brought that on himself.
Hmm.
The first incident he had, I felt like he should have had a mentor, and I think it's the NBA's job when you're drafting these kids, young out of college. They now they because of NIL they're able to make money. But when Ja came into the league, the NIL wasn't in existence. So you had a lot of players like that. And I feel like it's the NBA's job to put a mentor with those kids to help bring them along.
Dad, the thing is, the mentor are the vets, and also Polo. I fact checked it. The starting
You
five from
can't.
that season was Ja, Desmond Bain, um, Dylan
I
Brooks,
said that
Darren
we could talk
Jackson
about it
Jr., and
off
Steven
screen because
Adams.
I got something I want to say about Josh. So
But
Yeah,
the thing,
I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair. I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. I think it's unfair to put that responsibility on the vets. Yeah, the
but
vets
it's
can contribute. Wait. The vets, I think the vets should contribute, but the vets have things going on their own. What I mean by mentor should be somebody that's walking with this guy, that's helping him, somebody he can reach out to, somebody that's reaching out to him. The vets don't have time. Most of the vets have a life of their own. They got their own family to be concerned about in the off season and when the game is over. So it's unfair to think that, I'm going to neglect my family to take on that responsibility for a rookie coming in.
I
mhm.
mean, Pop, I will. I'm saying you wrong because every good team that's especially now that's in the playoffs, every good team remaining has good, incredible vets on them. Vets
I'm not
balance.
against that. I'm not saying that
But
they don't,
how can
son.
you? How can you say get job mentor? How can you give job mentor that hadn't been in his shoes before? How can you
But
expect me to?
how do you know that the vets have been in his shoes?
Because they've been
Answer
there.
me
They
that,
it take the average
son.
NBA
There
life
are
the
professional.
average
There are
NBA
professional. Wait,
lifespan is
wait,
three
wait.
years.
There are professional life coaches that would love the opportunity to be a mentor for some of these guys.
But Dad, we talked about this before though, where we said you even being you've been a parent a long time, not even a shot.
Real
It's
long,
always gonna be moments where they gonna listen to their peers before
over
they listen
20
to
years.
anybody else. It's over 30
Yeah,
years, brother. I got a brother. But it's gonna be moments where
Damn,
their peers, they're gonna listen to their peers before they listen to anybody else.
damn.
That's what I mean. The average NBA lifespan is 3 years, though, Pop. If you got a guy that's in there 10, 11, 12 years, it's obvious they doing something right, and they're gonna be the best people to put around them. Go ahead, Polo.
I'm go ahead, Polo.
Yo, okay, cause I start feeling little. All right, listen. You put Penny Hardaway. I'm gonna go with what both of y'all guys are saying and make it work together. When they come down to Memphis, you put Penny over there because they do need a coach. You put Penny over there, he can play as their life coach. They need that right coach that he can listen to. Also, he reminds me a lot of myself when I was in school. You know what? A lot of times I didn't do nothing, but guess what? I still was gonna get in trouble. You get what I'm saying? It's because I was a troublemaker. You get what I'm saying? So no matter if he do something right or if he do something wrong, they're still going to blame him because he has that mark on him. When you have that stain on you, Poppy, you know, you've been around people that got the stain on them. It's kind of hard to get that stain off. You know what I'm saying? That's like if you eat some food first time and you didn't like the taste of it, you're not going to want to keep eating that food. You know what I'm saying? So also, a lot of people more worried about him, what he do off the court than what he do on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This year he haven't got caught with a gun, a BB gun. We don't even know if he played with water guns at home. But one thing I can say, he still can get fined $100,000 just for doing this on the court or doing this on the court, just like anybody else. But at the same time, but because it's job, we're going to penalize you because they're looking at you in a negative stereotype.
And
I
my
mean, I
question,
understand, but that's your fault,
wait,
though. Like you said, Polo, that's his fault.
and my question is, where are your 10-year vets? They've been there, so they know the system. Where are
They
your
hadn't
10-year
had any
vets?
though, Pop. On his
The
team,
reason,
No, 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 no.
they've lacked vets on that team.
Wait. It does not have to be on
on
that
the team.
team. So where are the 10-year vets? Where are the 15-year vets? So my point here, son, is everybody helps out. I'm not saying that
Each
you
one teach one.
take the vet. Yeah, I'm not saying you take the vets out of the equation, but you have to acknowledge the fact that the vets have things of their own. They have a life of their own. They have a family of their own. Most of those guys have kids that they're responsible for.
I
And
understand.
bringing in a life coach for players like him, um, that helps him to stay accountable to what he does.
He need my mama.
I understand.
That's
I
all.
understand that, and then we gonna move on
Cause he
because we
ain't
got to
got
talk
too
about
many times.
the Heat.
How old are you right now? I still get a whooping. He needs somebody to whoop him.
But look, and then say this, and we get to talk about the Heat. Um, the NBA has actively had a vets problem. Really, it's not even just them. But you just look at some of the teams who had a lot of younger players who put vets around them. They're like whole different teams. That's all it is. The
Well,
NBA, but
half of the young players don't want to listen to the vets anyway.
well, if you want to win, you got to. I think this the first year Houston that had some pretty decent vets and everything, and look what it did for them. I just
His
feel like
daddy,
that veteran presence make a major difference.
his daddy need to stop sitting over there looking like Ursha on the sideline and start getting on his son's head. Stop worrying about that check he get. You take his shoe out.
Man, Miami Heat. Be honest. The biggest issue that we have, in my opinion, is roster construction. Our roster to me is not constructed
Yeah,
well right now. We've got,
yeah,
and the thing is, we've got a lot of young pieces, but I'm gonna be real, Dad. We need to decide what we're gonna do. Either you're gonna
yeah.
go all in on the young guys, get rid of your guys, they got some value, suck for a little
Like
minute,
Bam.
then build your way back.
Mm,
Yeah. I don't want to get rid of like Bam and Tyler Hero, but you can't keep remaining, especially if we're not gonna be doing great things and being able to make good free agent pickups because of the way Pat Riley moving. You can't remain a middle of the pack team.
you're right.
You can't.
What
You either need to buy into winning, and it don't seem like y'all bought into winning because you let Jimmy walk. You need to
Right.
buy into
That's where I
winning,
was going.
or you need to buy into losing.
Buying the rebuilding.
Exactly.
If you would have got Lillard over there, I don't think Jimmy would have ever left.
I don't
Well,
even think Jimmy wanted to leave. He just wanted a
yeah, he
contract.
did. He just wanted a contract, and I think he, on top of a contract, he should have put some better players around him. I
Because
mean,
Dad, Jimmy
honestly,
got the
Jimmy.
best out of this roster many times.
Yeah, and let's be real. Let's be
Jimmy
honest
was the
about the
best
whole
out of the
thing.
roster.
That
Yes,
finals run,
yes, yes. You look at what Jimmy's doing, the numbers Jimmy is putting up in San
Golden State.
Francisco.
Yeah.
You look at how much he's contributing. You look at where I believe that the Golden State would do well, but I don't think they would be where they are now without Jimmy's contribution.
They wouldn't have made the
Now,
playoffs without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
now being the
absolutely
number one
not.
defensive team since Jimmy that made it over
Absolutely
there.
not.
They went
Yeah,
like I think they went 24-6 their last 30 games after getting Jimmy Butler.
And this the person you didn't want to get no money to?
right.
Okay.
That's why I said we gotta this starts from the top. That's the only thing. We can't make no trades right now, no nothing. We either need to commit to being bad and try and get some retools through the draft and to work our way like that, or we need to go all in on trying to get good.
I
Yeah.
agree.
There's no in between. I think if the Dame trade happened, it would have been a different light going into this season. But man, and to in my opinion, we still gave them the best offer for Dame. No matter how much they don't want to admit it, they just didn't give it to us out of spite for Pat Riley. We still gave the best offer sheet for Dame though. Like because Tyler Hero had his best season statistically this year. They also offered them, if I'm not mistaken, they offered some variation of either Hami or Nikola Jovic. They offered one of those two.
Mhm.
So that was still the best offer you were gonna get that past season for Dame.
I agree.
So I don't know, man. You just that's my thing, and I don't think I got nothing else to really say about it because there's nothing else you really can say about it.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Like we got good role, and the thing is, we always end up with fairly good role players. But the thing about role players are they're meant to play a specific role. Like Davion Mitchell had a great game in that play-in game. That was his role to get us through that play-in game. Now you need to get some people next to
Mhm.
Bam and Tyler Hero to do something more because if Tyler's having an off night, Bam Bam can't be our best defensive player and putting his all in on
And putting.
offense.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And
I
I
was
feel like
just
Bam ain't nothing but a good role player, but that's just my opinion.
oh no, I can't give you that. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not
No, no,
saying he's
no.
not
But
good.
I think for what he is, a lot of people don't watch ball, and I
Yeah,
say that because
that's your
realistically,
opinion.
bro, as far as the position of center, Bam is a top 5 center in the NBA.
He he just I don't know what it is that he just doesn't have the help he needs.
Hold
He
on,
does not have enough
go
help.
ahead and think about go ahead and think about 5 centers if you think they're better than Bam.
I'm not saying he ain't. That's
I
not what
know,
I'm
That's
but I'm
out
just
there
saying.
saying.
now.
I saw the way you was
A
looking.
lot.
You can't give me
Uh,
5.
no, you just going by what you're saying. You didn't even let me finish talking, so I'm not gonna do what you want me to do as far as his top five. I'm not saying he's not good, but what I'm saying is if you put some real talent around him, he's nothing but a
Hmm.
role player, and he's a role player that's gonna get you his points, gonna get you his rebounds as a center. I'm not saying he is not the superstar that Miami want to make him out to be. On another team, Bam gonna get you the same numbers, but he's not gonna be the Bam of Miami. I'm
That's
sorry.
cap. That's cap.
Hear me out when I say this. Y'all
The
don't
one
have.
season that we had the proper help around him when we went to the NBA Finals, Bam was probably the best player on the court.
Hear
So
me
you're
out
not.
right now. Y'all don't,
You just mute yourself.
because you know what I said. Y'all don't have nothing.
Mm.
So all y'all got is Bam. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But if you put him around some good talent, Bam is going to be a good contributor to somebody that's getting the points, a star. That's all I'm saying. If Bam got a co-star with him, y'all will
Hmm.
look way better. Not no people
That's
that
every
come out.
team though.
Man, bro, you're
What
not
team
hearing what I'm
ain't?
saying.
But
But
I'm
Hear,
hearing you, but you're
okay,
not.
don't worry about it.
You no.
Tell him what
I'm
I'm saying,
hearing you, but
Pop. Tell him
no.
what I'm saying,
Make
Pop.
it make sense. What team isn't better when you put another star on it?
Tell him what I'm saying, Pop.
I know
but
what you're
that's that.
saying, but what team isn't better when you put another star on it?
Tell him what I'm saying, Pop, because you ain't hearing what I'm saying.
No, I'm hearing exactly
Maybe
what you're
hearing what I'm
saying, and it's
saying.
not making sense. You just said that. Oh, Bam gonna give you the same production whether he's playing with or without a star, whatever, and that's just not true. He produced better when he was playing next to somebody else. If I'm the only, if the
Mhm.
same argument we just made a few weeks ago about Namdi Awesome, why people weren't throwing his way, I could double and I can
That's
double team
football and
Bam, and
basketball. That ain't what I'm
I
talking
can
about.
throw double teams at Bam. I can throw double teams at Tyler Hero all day because you don't got nothing else. I will live with Davion Mitchell having to beat me. Teams are gonna live with that. So I'm not saying what you say. Of course, he's gonna look better playing next to more talent because that's every situation. I don't know if y'all let Nikola Jokic get the
What
center position broke for y'all, but it's only one Nikola Jokic as far as the center position. So I don't know if every other center outside of the top 5, maybe except Sengun, is going to be well at these two things and fairly average at everything else.
So what was Bam's numbers when Jimmy was there?
You want the final season, which I feel was his best season, or do you want?
I want an average. I want an average. Because that's what you have to go off of. Every night they're not gonna have the same night that they had the night before.
5-team all
every night.
What I'm saying is this, man. He will not be the same star. I'm not saying he's not going to put up the same points. If you were listening instead of trying to prove me wrong, you would have.
You literally just say he's going to put up the same exact stats no matter where he's at.
No,
those are your words.
I'm saying he's going to put up his points, but he's not going to be the star. They don't have no brand. They don't have no brand player to put nothing on but Bam in Miami. But if he was to go somewhere else, he don't have to be the star. You take the load off of other people that stars. Like, I put it this way. Look at Jimmy since he left. Jimmy was your only star. Jimmy and Bam. You know what I'm saying? Now you put more of a workload on Bam since Jimmy gone. Look how that's panning out for y'all. Now guess what? Jimmy ain't got to do everything he was doing when he was with Miami. Guess what? Jimmy is not the full star, but you see what he do when he's around people that wants the ball. It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
I see what you're saying.
I don't see it because he's still averaging 18 and 10, shooting good splits. I'm not understanding.
Yeah, but you're still losing. You're still losing.
But yes, so but Dad, we just lost a superstar. What are you supposed to do when you lose?
Okay.
You ain't been a Lakers fan, but when the Lakers inevitably lose a LeBron James or lose a Luka Doncic, they're not going to be the same team. It don't matter. Once you lose a superstar level player,
you lost.
First of all, NBA would not be the same when LeBron leave.
Wait. So you lost the superstar player for the Heat. What's your excuse for them losing the way they did when the superstar was there and Bam was there? What's the excuse?
I could say is role players. You still have to have role players around them. You still do.
And then
every team is always.
I hear what you're saying, son. I hear what you're saying. But what Polo said about Jimmy going to a team where he doesn't have to carry the load now. That's why Jimmy's able to perform better. That's why Jimmy's able to give more. Because he's not carrying the weight of the team on his shoulders. Even when Jimmy was there in Miami and Bam was there, he still carried that team.
And I understand that. No one ever said he didn't. But in what are you looking at Bam to be Cat? Is that what are you looking at him to score 25 a night? He's never been that. So if you're looking at him and what he's been doing, Mr. First and second team all defense the last 5 years, a defensive anchor who still is going to give you 20 and 10. If you're looking to get 25 and whatever else from him, then you a fool in your own right.
You're a Skip Bayless person right now.
I'm not a Skip Bayless person.
You want to think.
It's not stuff that you want to think. He's literally a defensive anchor. He has a solid offensive game, but we're not expecting him to score 25. You want to see you talking about what we want to see. We don't want to see him score 25. I'd rather have my all-world defender. I would rather have my all-world defender. I would rather have my all-world defender who gonna guard 1 through 5 versus somebody who going out there only scoring, not playing no defense. We going through that right now. Tyler can put the ball. Tyler put the ball in the hoop all day and don't play a lick of defense. We don't need that.
And you see the difference?
We don't need that. And that's what I'm telling you. If you're gonna be critical,
let me ask you this.
I'm more critical of Tyler Hero because you were supposed to be the one that stepped up. If we're being critical of somebody, I'm not being critical of Bam because even no matter what has been going on, Bam has consistently been the best defender on our team. He has consistently been able to run the offense through himself, even when he's not scoring 25, 30 points a night. He's touching that ball. He's screening and rolling. That's just how we play him. He's coming.
And that's why y'all lose.
He's playing at the free throw. All right, bye. Good night. Everybody have a good night. Because no, you're not finna sit here and do this. You ain't even watching the games. Nigga, you following behind LeBron. You ain't even watching the games. I ain't trying to hear
What
none
was
of that.
that?
You
How I'm
can't.
not watching the game? I called you the other day.
You not
and said,
watching
hey,
the
you watching the
game?
game?
No, because I
You,
was doing something.
look. You know what y'all look like right now. You look
Probably
like
too long.
Chuck and Shaq. Look like Chuck and Shaq.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I wrote to him in the page. That's what I wrote to him in the group. I got rings, you don't.
Man, anyways, if you sack,
Thank
you a
you.
fool. If you sack, you are a fool. If you're Shaquille O'Neal, you are a fool.
You put a snake in the pack, I average 20 and 10. You hear me?
Man, please. And
All I'm
Shaq,
saying,
Shaq
I'm not
openly
saying he's
admitted
not
to
good.
not watching ball, by the way. I know you're not saying that he's not good, but Polo, I'm not putting a certain expectation on this player that I know is just not him.
Yeah.
Imagine
That's
if
what
he
I'm
go out.
telling you. He's just not him.
Imagine if he go out there and give us 25 a night. Where does that leave our defense on the other side? The same way we complain about, and I will use Luka as a perfect example. Everybody say Luka don't play no
Lord,
defense.
I'm gone.
Everybody
He
say
don't.
Luka don't play
He
defense.
don't.
But
He
Luka
don't.
gonna go out there and give you 33 points a night,
And
30
he
some
gonna
points
cry.
a night.
He gonna cry for
But
every
Pop, it don't
last one
matter.
of
But
them.
we're not expect if you can keep giving us this 30 some a
Leave it
night.
alone right now.
If you can give us this 30 some a night, I don't expect you to go out there and sit in the chair all night. I don't care what nobody tell you. We gonna scheme around you. We gonna scheme around you being a cone a little bit. If Bam is going out here giving me first team all defense numbers, that means I expect him. Okay, he can still give me my little 20 piece, but I need the rest of y'all be on point of offense. Is he's gonna make up for what y'all lacking on this side of the ball? Y'all need to be able to help him out on the other side. That's all I'm saying.
Y'all need him to be everything. The coach, the general manager, the chairman, the foreman. Y'all need Bam to do everything that y'all ain't got right now. All I'm saying, he is not the star that y'all want him to be. He is
All
not
right,
there. I'm
everybody
sorry.
have a good
He
evening.
is
All
very
right,
defensive.
it's time for a
Yeah.
commercial break.
But while we commercial breaking before we get out of there, who is y'all playoff MVP up until this point?
Up until this point,
Who's y'all playoff MVP?
God, son, that's a good question. For
Go
me, go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I would say
No,
mine's will either be between my 3 playoff MVPs, and it's gonna sound crazy. Giannis will be number 1, even though he out. Giannis will be number 1 because he was averaging dang near 30-point triple double.
I would agree with that.
Jalen Brunson to be up there, and Anthony Edwards, because all 3 of those guys have been putting in work.
So I would have 4: Giannis, Jalen, Edwards, and shucks, it's right there. Oh, Steph. You got to put Steph in there.
Yeah, I was about to say Steph. I'm gonna go with Steph. Man, I really hate this, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Steph right now because I don't care nothing about the NBA. If we lose tonight, I don't want to talk about basketball. Let me go tell you that right now. I don't want to say nothing about basketball. I wouldn't even eat an orange until next season because it reminds me of a basketball.
I also want to give Tatum his props too for being up there because Tatum has been hooping. Tatum has been hooping.
Yeah.
Tatum last 3 games, 36-9, 37-14, 35-8.
What you think about Evan Mobley? What he been doing? And Donovan Mitchell. What you think about Donovan Mitchell?
I think Donovan Mitchell been doing his job. Honestly, he hadn't had to do a whole lot this series. I think next series is gonna play
I
a
got to give it up to OKC's entire squad.
Yeah, they balling, boy. They look
different.
different.
They have figured out how to bring it together.
I started to buy a jersey.
Figured it out.
I do think that Evan Mobley was doing this thing, anchoring that defense though. He earned that depoy.
Yep.
It don't hit what he was doing really ain't showing up on stat sheets, but he really been doing his thing.
Who that remind you
of? It's a few guys really.
Bam.
One. Yeah, don't show up on stat sheet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bam, it don't
Him,
show up.
Rudy is another guy whose impact don't
Rudy
show up on
Gobert,
stat
yeah.
Yeah,
sheets.
definitely.
Rudy and you know, I hate the stigmatism behind Rudy sucked because he got cooked by Steph and Luka. Bro, it's Steph and Luka. Everybody get cooked by them. Y'all let one play move y'all from the fact that he been holding it down the whole game.
He ain't got no ankles, but you coming in playing with your eyes closed, all you gonna hear.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He ain't one of them. I wouldn't let him touch me either, because you know he the one that started the whole
The
you
COVID.
know.
Yeah, he got the COVID.
It
He must start the COVID. He touched that microphone trying to be funny, shut the whole league down.
did got fired. It
Then
did
got
got
fired.
fired.
Yeah, they got him. He was in Utah before COVID, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what got him sent to out of there.
I didn't even, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot that he was in. I knew he was in Utah, but I thought he was in Minnesota by there.
It was after.
Dang, that's crazy. But man, any last words from everybody? Pop, Polo, let me know something.
My last word is Bam is not who you think he is. That's all I'm done.
My last word is I hope Giannis stays in Milwaukee.
And yeah, but Pop, you better pray. My last words is interested to see how the next round of the playoffs go. This round ain't over with yet, but this is gonna be
I
very
hope the
interesting.
Lakers pull it off, but the way it's looking right now is over with.
I mean, y'all
Them
only
boys
down
got that
9 in the
ball.
first.
It won't need to be down at all.
Where are they playing tonight?
LA.
Okay. But they've already lost in LA too, so
Twice.
yeah. All right.
But yeah, man. Without any further ado, I'm your host, Mr. J. We got Pops and Polo. And man, we out of here, baby. Peace.